Hello viewers, how are you? Hope you are fine. Welcome back to my channel Drawing Time with Story. If you are new in my channel, I will introduce myself and my channel with you. I am Suraya Parveen and my introduction of the channel is I normally select an object or a theme to draw, and while drawing you will not get bored because beside drawing or painting you will listen to a story or some narration of the topic related to the topic, or simply we just gossip around the things just happen around us. So we will connect together, we will draw together, we will listen to a story together, we will enjoy together. So as you saw, my today's theme was I selected a theme of a sunset or sunrise because the two times are almost same. The sky color and the surroundings are almost same, but the time is totally different. I love both sunset and sunrise. So today I will draw a sparkling or a fireworky sunset or sunrise, whatever you say, but I will name it sunrise. Okay, so today I will narrate you a brilliant story about volcano, and it was written by Colin Barras. So let's jump to the story time. Long ago, four giant beings arrived in Southeast Australia. Three stood out to other parts of the continent, but one crouched in place. His body transformed into a volcano called Bush Bean, and his teeth became the lava of the volcano spat out. Now, scientists say this tale, told by the Aboriginal people of the area, may have some basis in fact. About 3700 years ago, 37,000 years ago, Bud Beam and another nearby volcano formed through a rapid series of eruptions. New evidence reveals, suggesting the legend may be the oldest story still being told today. The study raises a provocative possibility, says Sin an archaeologist at James Cook University, claims who was not involved with the work. It is an interesting proposition to think about this tradition extending for tens of thousands of years. But he and others urge caution, as no other stories passed down orally are believed to have survived that long. It is not clear how long the Gundit have lived in the southwest corner of what is now the Australian state of Victoria. Until now, the oldest accepted evidence for human occupation dates back no more than about 13,000 years. But geologist Erin Matheson at the University of Melbourne says that in the 1940s, archaeologists reported finding a stone axe near the region's ancient Tower Hill volcano. The axe shows humans lived there before the eruption because it was found buried beneath the volcanic rocks. Now Machen and her colleagues have dated those rocks and those of Bud Beam 40 kilometers to the northwest. The dating method, which relies on the well-established technique of measuring the radioactive decay of potassium 40 into gram 40 over time, suggests both volcanoes formed around 37,000 years ago. What's more, Matheson says both seem to be of a style that can grow from nothing to peaks tens of meters high in a matter days to months. The sudden deal eruptions may have made a big impression on the humans who were living in the area at the time, perhaps sparking the story of the four giants the team reports this month of geology. There have been no other large volcanic eruptions in the area in the intervening years that could have provided inspiration for the stories. Matheson says. Still, she stresses that her team is not definitely claiming that the Guntismara story is really that old. Aboriginal tales are already among the oldest known. In 2015, Patrick Nunn, a geographer at the University of the Sunshine Coast, co-authored a study suggesting 21 communities around Australia have independently kept alive stories describing an episode of sea level rise that drowned parts of the coast. None thinks those stories might be about 7,000 years old. This Guntisamara story would be more than 5 times as old. Increasing evidence also shows that humans on many continents migrated far and wide during the past several thousand years. That means the people living in a given area today are not necessarily related to those who lived there tens of thousands of years ago. But a 2017 study of ancient hair samples suggested Australia may be an exception to this rule. Many Aboriginal Australian populations appear to have occupied the same place for almost 50,000 years. That, I think, could help explain why stories might have been so well preserved for so long. None says. We in the West have only scratched the surface of understanding the longevity of Australian indigenous oral histories, says Enoch McNiven, an archaeologist of Monash University, Clayton, who is also cautiously open to the story's deep antiquity. Now we will know what is actually a volcano. A volcano is a rupture in the crust of a planetary mass object such as Earth that allows hot lava, volcanic ash, and gases to escape from a magma chamber below the surface. On Earth, volcanoes are most often found where tectonic plates are diverging or converging, and most are found underwater. For example, a mid-ocean ridge such as the Mid-Atlantic ridge has volcanoes caused by divergent tectonic plates, whereas the Pacific Ring of Fire has volcanoes caused by convergent tectonic plates. Volcanoes can also form where there are stretching and thinning of the crust plates, such as in the East African Rift and the Wells Clearwater Volcanic Field and Rio Grande Rift in North America. Volcanism away from plate boundaries has been postulated to arise from upwelling debris from the Coromantel boundary, 3,000 kilometers deep in the earth. This results in hotspot volcanism, of which the Hawaiian hotspot is an example. Volcanoes are usually not created where two tectonic plates slide past one another. large eruptions can affect atmospheric temperature as ash and droplets of sulfuric acid obscure the sun and cool the Earth's troposphere. Historically, large volcanic eruptions have been followed by volcanic winters, which have caused catastrophic famines. The word volcano is derived from the name of Volcano, a volcanic island in the Aeolian Islands of Italy, whose name in turn comes from Vulcan, the god of fire. In Roman mythology, the study of volcanoes is called volcanology, sometimes spelled volcanology. Now we will know about the plate tectonics. According to the theory of plate tectonics, Earth's lithosphere, its rigid outer shell, is broken into 16 larger plates and several smaller plates. These are in slow motion due to convection in the underlying ductile mantle, and most volcanic activity on Earth takes place along plate boundaries, where plates are converging or are just diverging. So we will know about divergence plate boundaries. At the mid-ocean ridges, two tectonic plates diverge from one another as hot mantle rock creeps upward beneath the thinned oceanic crust. The decrease of pressure in the rising mantle rock leads to adiabatic expansion and the partial melting of the rock, causing volcanism and creating new oceanic crust. Most divergent plate boundaries are at the bottom of the oceans, and so most volcanic activity on the earth is submarine, forming new seafloor. Now, the convergent plate boundaries. Subduction zones are places where two plates, usually an oceanic plate and a continental plate, collide. The oceanic plate subducts, forming a deep ocean trench just offshore. In a process called flux melting, water released from the subducting plate lowers the melting temperature of the overlying mantle waves, thus creating magma. This magma tends to be extremely viscous because of its high silica content, so it often doesn't reach the surface but cools and solidifies at depth. When it does reach the surface, however, a volcano is formed. The subduction zones are bordered by chains of volcanoes called volcanic arcs. Typical examples are the volcanoes in the Pacific Ring of Fire, such as the Cascade volcanoes or the Japanese archipelago or the Sunda Arc of Indonesia. Have a happy day. Bye.